All right, welcome back to Disco Elysium. Bringing the law, bringing the law. I am the law.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Try it.
Your best?
That's brutal, man.
No, stop. He's already mortified.
That's,
In the name of God, what are you doing?
Fuck the case,
Yeah.
fuck everything.
yeah, I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust.
Yes, and I also thank you for stopping.
Hey Kim, be nice now. Come on. Human Ox.
This screen.
This must be the one he told us about. Use the pry bar to smash the window. Oh, but this has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Ledger of failure and hatred. Ouch. That's nice though, in a way. Where's my booze? Come on! The fucking controller doesn't want to connect. God damn it! Connect, you son of a bitch. Come on, connect. Well, for whatever reason, this game doesn't let me use tools properly. Like, I can't actually use
This
booze.
screen found A to Z. Contemporary is part the door. There's no pick the glass. It feels like you're peeking into someone's.
I don't think it's wrong to save scum if the game's not gonna let me do something I need to do to
This
prove my
screen
chances.
Found A. With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar.
Fuck the
A
police.
case of light catching on the tip. Cool down the window.
Subtle.
Like a common
The
car thief.
smell of cigarettes. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long forgotten. One of them particularly catches your eye. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? The actresses
Sure.
in the rear looks like the frequency dial is absent.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 for
Why would you need
contacting an
that?
entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
Uh-huh.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
I wonder who would have that.
Doesn't look like it.
It's the smell of You wedge
Kick the
yourself
pedals.
under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools, but one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Mm-hmm. Also rub off
Yes.
the boot.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
I think the entire union might be
We
involved.
should talk with Titus, see what he's got to say on the matter.
The movie stars are still a metallic drawer.
Unfold the newspaper.
Of Petty Ferric from last week. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
Ulan
very
frequency
painful.
System? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into it. Close the rustic.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota.
The what?
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow. The vows are blood and flesh.
Rococo, I have not played Darkest Dungeon 2 yet. Maybe I'll do that after this game, but so far I've only played one, so I can't really give a fair opinion on which game is better. I would say you should be able to do, but if the first one is even half as good, or second one's half as good as the first, they're both great.
Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
And hard stuff, yes.
Fascism, Brota.
Wait, what?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revishal's problems?
Let's turn my circulatory
Quit
system.
stalling, Bruta. We're
Bruta.
talking about the weakest, worst, most...
Obviously
yes,
leftist.
Women.
Women.
Women. Men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen.
This should be pair with the homosexual underground thought.
That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that woo men need to know their place.
Is this a stomach seizure?
Stomach truth. You're having a stomach
What's
because
this
you've
happening?
said the hard things that others won't
I didn't
say.
even have to talk shit about women right
Rude
there.
Things, you've said them many times. Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking.
Yeah, good
You're
thinking.
going to keep your views, right? Keep
Sure.
for the nation. Smart. Best not to mention the women too often. That's why you...
Okay,
of
women.
course you are, Bruta. Of course.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
Yes, Kim?
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can... I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's
They'll
a better
hold
way
pain
to connect
later.
between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station. Oh,
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
Yep, Kim.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are...
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically.
Uh-huh.
But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them. We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it.
Thank you, Kim.
There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption.
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over.
The jam mystery. Right to work. Here. Great River Industrial Harbor.
Right to work!
Right to work.
Shame on you! What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
The man has turned his attention elsewhere. He shakes his fist slowly.
Right to work.
Is this about the questions again?
A colorful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with...
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better.
Do I have anything here to
The
give?
tear machine. Your bottles clunk in...
Cool, 20 cents. Oh, do I have the bullet? All right. No, I don't. Or... No. Let's talk to Joyce until we can talk to the smoker on the balcony. Get that experience. Woot woot. Yeah, I'm broke.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? By love, you did. Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation... What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
How about you share your information on the lynching?
The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I have informed my employer there will be a probe. I cannot rescind that promise. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell you everything I know when you've finished with them.
That was your plan all along.
My plan is to share information. The only way to do that now is by telling my employers you've kept your end, which I hope you will. because let me tell you, we are in dire waters.
How bad can the info she has be?
The sooner the probe is finished, the sooner I can share crucial information with you. Now, is there anything I can do for you with... Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Its eyes.
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
So you say.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered that...
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Yep.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it.
The words bloodbath.
Bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say.
Good job.
My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Lapse of faith? What?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the
Yeah,
board.
that's dumb shit.
I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
They're bad at it. Based on what we know.
Exactly.
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically,
3.
but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
Miss Right
They
to
wear
work.
ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
Not
He
quite.
was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
Oh, sorry, Hunter.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
That'll be very fun.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
Hey, yo, Hunter. I see you. Don't worry. Not
It
disco.
is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to.
Not too many of those.
Project strength
Captain America
and
mains,
power.
though.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. As I said, a bloodbath. Too many things have already gone wrong. All we can do is keep that which is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court.
What can you tell me
not
about Crenell?
much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military
Down a deep, Black Well.
Uh-huh.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman
Oh, yes, them.
Lawrence, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Sounds like you
I
went
wouldn't
native.
go as far as to use that term. Yes.
Why not?
Feels like there's a good response here, but you're not coming.
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
He might.
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel.
Why not?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, I
Not
am
for
sorry
now.
to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is, of course. Excuse my...
For about half.
It was taken with a Trigat not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the
stars.
can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Well, it's vias on a microcircuit. Vias! Yes! I know what those are.
Cities.
I'm an engineer.
This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
And what travels did these men make?
Quite a few. Vredefort,
Vredefort.
the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Seminese Islands, Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these...
Somewhere in an office, lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol in Martinez looking into Crenel. He writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren.
No brother of mine.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors.
What's use of it?
Where is he now?
The times have changed. His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them.
You wouldn't even know where to start.
I know where to start.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Alright. It's late. Past 10:30. Time to save and quit. I just did. Well, the saving part. Good night.